Something about the world ain't right. The darkness lives in plain sight. In the ether, adjust your eyes. There are those that have no clue. You give them hints, they just stare at you. Most have lived in Plato's cave, watching.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with Lisa Schermerhorn, and looks like I already have the page pulled up. We'll get back to that in a moment. Yeah, I just wanted to welcome her to chat about her amazing new book that I not only want to showcase just for her, but the 36 now authors that are part of it, and she'll get more into the details on that. So, Lisa, we had an amazing time in Vermont and New York, and now you're on the verge of this amazing new book, your second book. The thumbnail, of course, has other projects that she's part of. So welcome back to the show.
Oh my God, thank you so much. You know, I just got emotional when you just said that, because I think about 25 years ago, I thought that I was worthless and didn't want to be here anymore. And I think about what's possible. Like all of these projects that you had on that thumbnail, I'm like, oh yeah, I actually really did do those things. It freaked me out.
Yeah, well, because we build on each of the things that we do. I mean, like, you know, when you release a new book or a song or a movie, you know, usually people might want to know about your previous works, and now they can see that you're part of not only the Joe Vitale movie, but that you also have a previous book, and that the new book is coming out. I'm very excited about it, and wow. I think that it's really cool how you're doing this, and maybe you can get into that there's options for people if they want to be part of the book release and all that. So yeah, where do you want to start with this really cool project?
Well, a couple of years ago, I started doing this quantum healing. And it started out really to help people who are having side effects from the vaccine. And I have family members that I love very much that I was very concerned about. And I trained in this particular quantum healing. And I started doing it monthly as a group with Honey C. Golden as well. And my daughter was like, what is this quantum thing you keep talking about? I don't understand. And I thought about it, and I had read books about quantum physics, believe it or not, years ago. And I thought, I don't even want to begin to go there, because how people can actually relate to that? How does that work in the real world? And then I started to think about all the people that I know, and some are famous and some aren't. And I will tell you that I am personal friends with 35 out of the 36 people who are in this book. I can physically get on a phone and call every single one. One person was added, Sir Robert Edward Grant, through a friend, and I was shocked that he agreed to do it. He's a pretty amazing man. But I started asking people about what is quantum to them, because in my mind, we create our own reality. That's quantum. So how have people taken that and created their own reality and stepped into their own authenticity? Because here's the key. When you access your own wisdom and your own gifts, and you remove all the fear, all the old, stuff, then the world starts to manifest. You think of things and they happen. And you've been witness to that with me, Joe. You see it. I think of things, and then the next day, or sometimes immediately, things will happen. In the case of, I was just hearing about this event in Tennessee with Sasha Stone, and I thought, wow, that would be really cool to be part of that. 2 weeks later, I get a call, there's one spot left, they'd like you to come and speak. And I was like, what? I mean, seriously, it happens that fast when you are connected to your authentic self and get rid of all your doubts and just step into it. So in speaking to my friends, they're so diverse. And Dr. Christiane Northrup, she did an endorsement on my first book, In Every Belief is a Lie. And I was talking to her. I've done some quantum work with her. And I asked her if she would do the forward to the book. And she's like, absolutely. And we're going to be doing an interview about that as well. And then I was in the movie with Dr. Joe Vitale, who talks about the Ho'oponopono forgiveness. And then I asked him, would he be in the book? And he said yes. And it just started snowballing. And I was like, wow. And every time I met someone, I would or talk to someone like, you need to be in my book. And now that it's at the formatter, like ready to go, I'm like, there's 3 other people. I'm like, God, I wish I could have put them in my book. So many amazingly talented, doing extraordinary things. But here's the thing. It's regular people, right? There's nothing special about any of us. We've just tapped into our gifts.
Right. No, that's a good way to put it. And I was there when, we met Chris O'Connor during the event in New York, and it was really cool. We were on the sidewalk in Montreal, and she's like, "Wow, well, icing on the cake would be if Chris O'Connor could have done a chapter." And then this was like a week before it had to go to publisher, and Barry and I both look up at least like, well, reach out to him right now, and he said yes. So that was really cool to witness that.
It was, and thank you so much, because I'm so grateful that he is part of it. And he's got a whole nother take on it, and I'm going to be doing his interview and adding it to the platform. So the concept is for people to write a chapter about something that happened in their lives that was quantum related, or how they live their lives in the quantum world. It's really where we're headed as we're moving from the 3rd dimension up to the 4th dimension and the 5th. It's the 4th density, 5th dimension, I think, is how Chris explained it.
Right.
Because we are learning a new way of being. Because so the densities, the heaviness, that old dark, what's the word I want to say? Energy of war and evil and spewing all of this hatred, and all of that is going away. And now we're moving into really a place where we need to go, which is love and forgiveness.
Right.
But people go, well, how do I forgive? I have people who don't speak to me because I have forgiven someone in my life who was a perpetrator. And they're like, well, if you forgave them, then it must not have been that bad, or maybe things didn't even really happen. And I'm like, this person doesn't even know I forgave them. So there's so many nuances about what forgiveness really is, and just not carrying that anger and the frustration, and understanding that we are all God. We are all a fractal of God, and we are truly all one. And I think about that person was my greatest teacher. If that person hadn't done those things to me, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have done all this work. I'd be a completely different person.
Right.
I don't want to go through that again, by the way.
No. No, nor wish that on anyone.
On anyone, but I'm glad to be on the other side.
Right. No, that's a good way to put it. Well, and you said, and also, someone may not even know if you're harboring a bunch of resentment. So you could be walking around with anger in your life and they have no idea. And there's something that you compare that to, if you could, I know, what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So when someone harbors resentment and anger, it's like swallowing a poison pill, expecting the other person to die. Because your thoughts, there's a whole body-mind connection. So your thoughts are connected. Every time you have a thought, you're actually putting out something called neuropeptides that go through your body. And your body is always regenerating. It's constantly regenerating. So whatever your thoughts are, that's what you are putting into your body. So if you have a lot of anger and resentment, you're creating cells of anger and resentment. They're going into your body, and, you are actually making yourself sick. And that person who hurt you has no idea that you're thinking about them, that you even exist anymore, depending upon how long ago this event happened. and you're holding on to it. So the idea is not about it's okay what happened. It's about letting go and finding peace and going into the state of gratitude. What were the gifts from this so I can release the pain and keep the wisdom?
Right, exactly. And oh, there was something that I was going to say. Well, I should we walk folks, and if I remember it, I'll
Yeah,
let you know.
absolutely.
Should we walk people through the website?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So this is on. So Lisa does have a very unique spelling on her last name. So what she's done, she's just created lisamindset.com, and it'll take you
Yeah.
right to her page. So
Yeah.
here we
And
are.
then under books, if you go under We Are Quantum, this is the cover, We Are Quantum. Yeah, so this is where you
Right.
are.
Okay.
And then, so we're doing a special event. The idea is to let the authors, I don't know that I'll have all 36, but I want to get as many of the authors as possible there. And this will be an opportunity for Q&A. So people can do question and answer, get to know the authors. They can talk about their experience writing it or whatever their story was about. So that's June 16th at 7 o'clock Eastern time, PM. And I'm really excited about that. And the people who attend that will get special pricing. It'll be at the discounted price of $888. And that'll be available through Amazon. And they'll also get a free group quantum healing.
I mean, that is that's beyond an amazing opportunity.
Oh, it's so cool. And I mean, and Joe is one of the authors, and you'll see more of them. It's been a very humbling experience. And how this is this is also part of the whole manifesting process of the people that have shown up and the people who are excited to participate in this and their stories. And people who I've known who went into their stories, and I learned more about them, that, things that I had no idea about their lives. And there were some people who were very vulnerable in their stories. So there's some amazing people in this
Well, and
book.
we can scroll through this and show exactly who you're talking about. So
Exactly.
I'm going to go really slow so you can tell me whether to pause or
Yeah.
keep going.
So there's a link. So that's the opportunity. So again, you can register there. We already have over 46 people registered for that event, and it's still a couple weeks away. So I may have to change my Zoom to for more than 100 people.
That's right.
Because yeah. And so, and everyone will be able to buy the book then. And so I'm really excited about that. And then for those who can't attend that, we have the early bird bonus where you still get it at the price of $888, and you also get the quantum healing. So you can buy the book early there, and when it's available after June 16th, you'll be receiving the book.
Well, and just so folks know, the quantum healing generally is, I think, around 40 something, right?
Yeah, the group healing is $44. It's a subscription that we do. I do with Honey, and this will be something that I'm doing as a free, as a bonus, I should say, for people to experience this, and just and people's pets. We have people's cats and dogs that come into this healing and have really great experiences.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to go further down the page here. And then, there's the can't attend live. Should I keep rolling down?
Yeah. So this is me.
She does recognize herself.
Yes, there I am. And there's my bio. And then what I said is my hope is that you find just one person that you resonate with.
Right.
So it shifts something inside of you. That was really the goal, besides, showing my daughter who, in story, And so you see here, it says view video. There's a little click. So
Right.
I have all the authors will now, you'll see there's that's a 3.5 minute.
Yeah, that's the short one.
Yeah, the short one. But the authors all have an interview. So you get to know them at a deeper level.
Right.
It's
And
it's so cool.
that's on the same page, I believe, right?
Yes. Yes. So as you go down,
Okay.
and then this explains really about how my daughter was asking about the quantum healing and the experience and how we are all quantum. And yeah, so this is just the explanation of the book.
Okay.
And that's Dr. Northrup. I'm going to be interviewing her, so there'll be a link to that. I'm still in process with this, but I've done the quantum healing with her a couple times. We also did dark field microscopy where she looked at her blood before and after and saw significant changes. And she's all about it. She's been a great supporter, and I'm so grateful.
Very cool. And then we go down a little bit more.
Yeah.
And obviously people can go to Lisa Mindset, hit books, and you guys can explore this at your own pace and leisure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Obviously what you'll get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I love about this, we have doctors like MDs that are in here talking about their experiences healing themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, Dr. Carrie Madej. Actually, so first here we've got Dr. Joe Vitale, who talks about the Ho'oponopono and how that heals. The Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian forgiveness prayer. It changed my life. And he did a movie, Zero Limits, that I'm in, that's all about people living a zero limits life. And that's about that quantum, releasing all your negative belief systems, and getting into that place of manifestation. And so you've got Carrie Madej, Jennifer Allen. Jennifer tells a story. She was my first guinea pig to do the dark field microscopy and her experience. Tom Althouse is the original screenwriter of the movie The Matrix, and his story of how it was taken from him by Warner Brothers. Laura Eisenhower does a really amazing form of quantum astrology. She talks a little bit about her life. And we have Sir Robert Edward Grant. Now, he does a lot of spiritual travel. He's got a big following. I don't know him. I've never met him in person, but he also invented the Architect, which is one of the AI programs that's next level. It's crazy next level. It really gets to a soul level with that. Dr. Jess Bell talks about, she is an osteopathic physician and how she started doing work at a distance. And she talks about the science behind it. And our friend, Dr. Alicia Main, who I met through you, she works with animal communication.
Right. Oh, cool. I don't know if I realized that.
Yeah.
The networking's been incredible doing this.
Yeah, you would introduce me to her. Love her. And then you have Dr. Solveig Berg. She was in the movie Zero Limits, and she teaches people psychic abilities and working in the quantum field. And the next woman with the 2 glasses on her head is my dear friend Susan Nordemo. She's a nurse, fellow hypnotherapist. She's in her 80s right now, but she's all about positivity and looking at the world from a positive standpoint and using that language. She survived breast cancer, and I worked with her and helped her through that. We did some healing. Her white blood cells, through rounds of chemo, she collapsed and almost died, and we got her blood cells back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
she's an amazing story. Wendy is a friend of mine. She's Canadian, and she calls herself a psychonaut. She works with plant medicine, and she tells her stories using psilocybin and all kinds of different plant medicine and how she helps people.
Okay.
And then we have Amelia Bergman does her form of quantum healing, which is really interesting. And then we have Kevin Martin, who is a former business partner of mine, and he teaches NLP and hypnosis. And he tells the story of his son, who he adopted at 5 years old and had been, or 7 years old, had been in 5 different foster families, horribly abused, and how he was getting ready to be put away. They'd gone through the system trying to help him because he had a lot of rage and anger and so much abuse. And using NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and hypnosis, in a week, that kid was normal, had no more rage and anger. And then on top of that, he's adopted. At 33, he adopted a foster child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then we have Kevin Hoyt, who...
The one and only.
I know, the one and only. I had met him. He was the one who really launched me in this movement and got me on podcasts and introduced me to Dr. Northrup and Michael Jaco. But he's this amazing man, and we did past life regression. He popped into 5 past lives during our session. It was boom, 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 and he was getting downloads like crazy. So he talks about his experience doing the past life regressions.
Wow.
So,
I'm learning so much because I don't know this stuff either about so many of these folks. This is fantastic.
Yeah, no, they're really unique. Renata Angelo was in the movie with me, Zero Limits, with Dr. Vitale. And she's originally from the Czech Republic and lives in Australia. She invited me to go to the grand open. She did a red carpet event in the fall in Prague, and I went and spoke at that event. She was on a motorcycle and was hit by a car, and she healed herself of years of extraordinary pain, went through every single medical intervention you imagine, and she was able to heal that pain herself. She, like I, are trained in firewalk. She does firewalking with people and glass walking and all that in Europe. She's beautiful, beautiful soul.
Wow. Okay.
Next one you know is Barry Fisher.
The amazing photographer.
The amazing photographer who's actually taken a lot of the photos that are here. Actually, the new photos were popping in. But she talks about, how connected that she has been to the land. And most of us perceive that and myself included, our wounds are our greatest gifts. And so when we learn these lessons, and then that's how we get to our gifts. She had this idyllic childhood, lived on the land. She grew up at a ski mountain, and she's an artist and photographer. And she never went through that trauma. She just stepped into it and became like a world famous photographer. She ended up photographing the US World Cup, skiing backwards, with this giant lenses, and one of the top wedding photographers in Vermont, skied all over the world. And she's an artist and talks about how art through quantum. Lori Daniels Falk is fascinating. I met her a year ago. She one day got a message and said, draw. And she's like, I'm not an artist. And she heard this voice over and over again. And it was her guides telling her that she needed to draw. And she started drawing these angels, and she was channeling these codes into these angels. And Hay House, who's one of the biggest spiritual, publishing houses, she was one of their top vendors when they would do the cruises. She would do these beautiful angels specifically for each person. So she included one of her angels in the book, which is really exciting. And she tells the story. She's like, I didn't have an artistic bone in my body. She's like, I didn't know anything. And she's like, spirit just showed up. She worked in the corporate world for years. And Liz Perkins, a dear friend of mine, she lives off the land, and she communicates with the trees and the plants. And she has a really cool story about how she does that. Next is Michelle Lowry. Michelle is a dear friend of mine. I've done several podcasts with her. She communicates with animals as well. I travel, we studied shamanism together. And I remember we were in Costa Rica and this bug is walking across our healing circle at the time. And she's taking notes of what the bug is telling her. But she's amazing how she tells the story, how they helped heal a horse. So he wouldn't have to be put down. And next is you, Joe.
Yeah, it was an honor. It was an honor to write it. It's interesting because I've thought of the idea of writing before, but it was really cool to feel motivated to do so. And part of my reluctance was there was this guy that my friend Doug back in the day, we were doing a movie together because I do a lot of independent films. And he's like, hey, Joe, just think, because the movie was about my nightclub work, not working out. He goes, just think, if the movie doesn't work out, you can always write a book. So, no, it's really great to write about something so positive and with a community of really amazing, like-minded folks. So it's an honor to be part of this. Thank you.
Yeah, no. So you talked about some of your experiences with actually ketamine, and it's an interesting journey in your music. So yeah, it'll be fun for your audience to hear more about you.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I experienced something the other day, because sometimes when you don't play music very often, you wonder, because you got to do it routinely. Right. And I was at an event for a friend's birthday, and there was 5 different people there. There was 5 different instruments. One of them basically, Joe, go get that guitar. And we were all just singing and playing and taking turns. And it was just like such a reminder of what it's like to engage with people musically. And I was just looking at the group. It's like, doesn't it feel amazing to play with people? Because it's such a motivator. And we all looked at each other like, yeah, none of us really got into music to just play by ourselves. So I just tapped right back into the energy, and it really lifted me up, because I just, when you're not around other people that play, it's like, it's a little isolating, and then you wonder, do I really still do this? So it's amazing. And I felt like I tapped right back into the quantum in that day.
Well, music changes your frequency, and It's all about frequency. So yeah, it's been amazing to think about. They used frequency and tone to build the pyramids.
Yep.
And then we have Eden Cause, who is a good friend. She's also a quantum healer. She talks about her near-death experience. She was diagnosed with a form of, they originally thought she had stage 4 lung cancer. And it ended up a brain infection, and how she, spirit spoke to her and said, you can stay or you can go, you decide. So that was a really cool story.
No, you might hear some little munchkin dogs in the background.
Hey guys, I have my son's 2 French bulldogs here. And of course, they were scheduled to pump my septic at the time where they left. So I have these dogs who love to bark. So I'm trying to keep them a little preoccupied, because
we'll see how it goes. I mean, just to let folks know, we're very dog friendly here at True Stream.
Yeah, and so next we have Michael Jaco, who launched me on my first podcast, and he has an amazing story of how he can remote view, and how he used that in battle, and his story about meeting Archangel Michael, and how Archangel Michael saved his life. And then we have Brad Wozni, who is also a dear friend of mine, and he has a podcast that I'm just completely drew a blank on, Sovereign Soul. And he was in a motorcycle accident as well, and was hit by a motorist, a woman who ran a stop sign, and how he healed himself using Reiki.
Wow.
The doctor said it was impossible. As a matter of fact, the surgeon who we had was one of the top orthopedists and said that, he'd be lucky to ever, have his mobility again, and he's completely healed. Richard Cardinal is hysterical and a dear friend. He's up in Montreal. He's a tarot card reader and just a love. He's just so funny to be around if you see his tarot card reading. He's very open about his life and where he came from and what he started. He came from very dark background, and he shared his life there. And then we have Kelly Hunter, also a friend of mine. She is one of the top astrologists, and she goes deep into it. I have a conversation with her, and half the time I'm not an astrologer, so I'm like, I have no idea what she's talking about sometimes, but the way she words it like comes together so clearly that she's really helped me understand astrology at a deeper level.
Beautiful. Go down here. All right. To Honey.
Yeah. So Honey is an amazing psychic and visionary and a healer, and she and I do this quantum healing together. She talks about the quantum field and how it impacts everyone. She's a very high level healer and just a beautiful heart. Sophia and I actually met when I met you in Anaheim, and she has something that's really extraordinary called Find Your Mentor, using an AI platform, matching people who have talents. So you have seekers and finders and these mentors, and you'll be able to find each other instead of, and helping people who are healers. This could do your marketing. You can set up circles on it. It's just all about the technology.
Yeah, it's incredible. It hasn't launched yet, but really is incredible what she's done.
It's about to. It's about to. So it's that. And then Dr. Teraza Lovick is a friend of mine, and we were doing the interview, and she wrote a beautiful chapter about healing and meditation. And in the interview, she went on about, I didn't know this about her, she was satanically ritually abused.
Oh, wow.
And she went into her whole story about how she healed and she forgave. It's an incredible story. So I was like, I've known you for all these years and I didn't know anything about her that way.
Right.
And Abby Wynn, who's out of the UK, you might know her. She's done some books with, bulldogs get stuck. Mark Atwood snorting behind me. They get stuck.
Yeah.
She does. She's written some books with her, and she talks about sounds like a pig. Yes.
With Mark Atwood.
She's an extraordinary healer, and she talks about her first experience in the quantum realm and using Reiki and how she uses that in her life. Rob White is also in the movie Zero Limits. I met him. He comes at quantum from a more pragmatic standpoint. He's not quite as woo-woo as I would say that I am, but I wanted different perspectives. And he talks about how he manifested and how he went through becoming from a very, very poor child, coming from, the best you could do was work at the local mill, to becoming a millionaire, and how he was able to manifest that in his life.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And Lisa Williams is a good friend of mine. She's an architect, and she's also a healer. And she talked about her experience in her life working through, difficult times, and how she's really moved through. And here's the other thing she said, I don't feel like I'm where I want to be yet. And I said, that's perfect, because neither are the people who are reading this book. And so I thought that would give hope to people to understand that she's in process and she's doing amazing things and she believes in what she's doing. She just doesn't know what it's going to look like yet.
And she's a lovely lady in person. So
yes, you got to meet her.
Yes.
And Deborah Guerrero, she was also in the movie Zero Limits. She was one of the executive producers there, and she also talks about Ho'oponopono and manifesting abundance and the mindset around that. And she gives some really great information. And then we have Ken Close, who's actually in Washington. I want to introduce you to him.
That's right.
He has this amazing wellness center using all kinds of technology and red light therapies, and he
Is
can
he
do
part
this
of Find Your Mentor as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Awesome.
And then Z Collective, I met her through Honey. She's an extraordinary healer as well. She also experienced satanic ritual abuse. She was kidnapped, and she has since become an extraordinary high-level healer. She uses the word Z Collective because she feels that we are all, it's like the last letter of the alphabet, and we are all one. And so that encompasses everything.
Wow.
So you can see how diverse this book is.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for updating us on the folks that are part of this. Should I roll down a little bit further? I know we're almost at the end of the web page here.
So this is just, it's medical professionals, consciousness researchers, healers, intuitive practitioners, visionaries exploring the nature of reality. And if you're interested, you can pre-purchase the book at the link above for $8.88, and you get the quantum healing. Or please come. We prefer you to come to the event. The more the merrier. And you can register now. Right now we have over 46 people registered, and I'm going to have to update my Zoom because I have a feeling we're going to go over 100. Otherwise people will be locked out.
I think so. Even with the censorship on TrueStream, I think we can help get you to 100.
Yeah, we're getting close. I don't think I've got to get on all the authors. I don't think they're all registered yet either. So that will put us to 100.
Yeah, I would think. Wow. Very cool. I'm excited to be part of it. I'm trying to make that event, but if I'm not there, it's just because I'm traveling and may be in between certain areas. Here's a comment from Sophia.
There you go. Yeah, she's part of the book, and she's really helping. She's helping me out a lot. You know what you're good at, and you know what you're not good at. And she's brilliant at marketing and really holding my hand through this because there's so many pieces to the puzzle. I laugh because, with my first book, I went through 5 months of writing and writing and writing, and I was like, oh, I'm done. And then you finish the book and you're like, no one knows about it. Like, now I have to think about getting this out there.
Right.
So, yeah, it's really about a movement to really help people understand that they are all capable of whatever they want. And I'm excited. I'm so excited about this. It's coming up in less than a month now.
It really is. And what's exciting, we'll be interviewing Sophia on the show as well when she's ready for promoting the Find Your Mentor website, because that's going to be amazing as well, because it's going to help. I don't know who was saying it. It was a few of us, but talking about when you're either a creative or a writer or an artist, musician, whatever, it's one thing to do that, but then it's a whole other set of skills to market it. So it's going to be nice to be part of a team that can help assist in those other things that maybe some of us aren't so great at. And also self-promotion can be a little awkward. So it's great to also have a team that can help do that.
If you think about it, you have introverts and extroverts, right?
Right.
So the extroverts, for the most part, will get on podcasts very easily, or they'll talk about their work, although it all depends on how they feel about public speaking, which is a whole nother thing. Then you have the introverts who are so extraordinary when they're the ones in the room who are quiet and listen. And then when they say something, like, it's like a mic drop, because they're the observers. And, I think about them and getting an opportunity with Find Your Mentor, and she'll explain more about it, but giving people an opportunity to just get to do what you want to do, and that Find Your Mentor will help match people. So it takes that whole worry out. And it has this incredible algorithm. It's really state-of-the-art quantum technology.
Right. It's not going to be loaded with ads like, Facebook
Yeah.
and the other. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're excited to present her work as well. So,
Yeah.
well, I know we're trying to keep this short so people can share it. There's also, and let me just double check this. I'm going to go here. If people want to see a little bit more or share this, that what if everything you've been told about reality is incomplete? We Are Quantum Lisa Schermerhorn. That is on your YouTube page. If people want to, a little 3.5-minute video to either share with their friends or whatever. So that's something they can look at. But anything else you want to say?
Yeah. So all of those photos, they have the link. You can listen to them. The interviews go anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Some might be a little bit longer to get to know these people at a deeper level. You can get to them through the landing page. I'm starting to make them public. I've been updating all of doing thumbnails for them. I'm in process. So there's, I think, 5 of them on my YouTube so far, but the rest you can get to through the landing page. Just click the, view the video link.
Very cool. Yeah, well, I'm just going to put these last comments up by Sophia because she's great.
I love her.
80% of all knowledge shares stay unseen online out of lack of marketing, sales, or tech skills. Good point with the introverts. And then everyone, this book is a must read. It's exciting. I'm excited about this whole project. So that being said, obviously go to lisamindset.com and obviously here it is. We Are Quantum exclusive live event. Everything's there. The registration, the links, purchasing the book, what have you. And I'm just going to stop sharing so Lisa can say a farewell to the audience. So anything you want to say in closing?
No, I'm just excited, that this is a movement. This is for all of us to move to that next level, to create the life we want as our lives are changing and frequencies rising. This is a new way of being. So we're all tapping into this, and this is help you understand that you can do this too.
Beautifully said. All right. Well, you and I will be in touch soon. Thanks everybody for watching. And Scott and I will be with Gene Decode today, but he doesn't air his shows live because of the interference. So we'll be airing it really soon. But
I love him.
Yeah.
Love him. I can't wait. Oh my God. Now I'm
yeah. So all right, everybody. Thank you. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Ciao for now.
I have known for some time something about the world ain't right. Darkness lives in plain sight, in the ether. Adjust your eyes. There are those that have no clue. You give them